Holy Spirit, source of all life, we gather together as the elected officials of our community, charged by the people to discern our futures together. We are a diverse body brought together by the same Spirit. We pray that we will be faithful to the work at hand, to set aside our own personal agendas, to seek out the greater good. Open our minds and our hearts to listen in for your will for us and bestow upon us your wisdom and grace. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, we need to take the show cause hearing off the agenda and then get approval. Or we gotta bring it, just table it.
What I would like to do is have you guys pick a date. I'd like to do 2 weeks from now. We need to pick several dates for meetings. We need to have the show cause hearing. We also need to do a goals and objectives study session later in the month or the first part of February, as well as an educational meeting that I wanted to have with you guys about the new marijuana laws. And I'm bringing in somebody from the Damascus firm to help me with that.
Through the
So
chair,
we need to get some dates.
I would like to wait 30 days. We've got a lot of other meetings this month, and also, I was going to bring it up in new business that we allow that our meetings don't conflict with planning the master land use plan.
Okay.
As answered my question, do we have an approval of the agenda?
What's that?
I'll move.
Just to be clear, so to make sure that there was no conflict, I put them on the third Tuesday of each month.
So if we go the fourth Tuesday, we will not have a conflict.
Will it be televised?
It can be televised if you want it televised.
Let's get that to new business.
Okay.
Let's wait.
I'll move approval of the agenda as presented, Mr. Mayor.
Support.
Ascension? Motion carries. Civic announcements. I'd like to open up to the public for civic announcements. Anyone have any civic announcements they'd like to come up and talk? Oh, Elaine Zach, our county commissioner, come on up.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. It's a pleasure. I'm going to be sworn in for my 9th term as county commissioner, and I look forward to serving as your county commissioner for another 2 years. Big changes are afoot in Oakland County. I'm honored to say that I will be chairing Finance Committee, and along with chairing Finance, I will be on the Drain Board, the Retirement Committee, and some other appointments as part of being Finance Chair of the TIFA Committee. We are taking this opportunity to reorganize and rewrite how business is conducted on the legislative branch of Oakland County. We've renamed all of the committees except Finance, and now they're clear and talk about legislative authority. For example, we now have a Healthy Community and Environmental Committee. Instead of Public Services, we now have Public Safety and Social Justice Impact. Instead of General Government, we have Legislative and Government Operations. So it's clear to the public what we will be doing. Now have an opportunity for additional appointments on this end of town. For example, I am going to be voting for my first road commissioner appointee in 9 terms. We are going to be appointing the first woman engineer from Clawson, so a South Oakland County representative to the Road Commission. We also are now going to have 2, county commissioners representing the South End position on the County Parks and Recreation Board. Besides Gary McGilvray, we're appointing Nancy Quarles from Southfield. She's going to serve. We also have another opportunity to appoint another African-American woman from Southfield to the board. So with different members on the board, we can set some different priorities, hopefully bring more resources to this end of town. So lots of board rule changes. For example, our county exec previously, his staff set the agendas for the Finance Committee. Now we are exercising our legislative authority and all submit they have to submit agenda items to the County Board of Commission staff. I get to approve what goes onto the agenda. So this is going to be very different operating procedure. And I think
All the years of being one-sided.
it's going to be an interesting new world. So I'm very excited about it. Our board rules are very different, and we're going to do grant procedures differently, purchasing, a lot of different things. A lot of work for reorganizing, but it's exciting opportunity.
I assume you're going to be continuing and perhaps even improving the program for assistance to local roads?
Well, technically, that's out of the budget after this year, but we have an opportunity to change things. And also the formula on the tri-party. One of the reasons we instituted that was that the formula for the tri-party roads favors other communities other than South End cities.
Yes.
So we have an opportunity to examine that again.
Good. And I want to say we love the local assistance to local road program that is paving Woodward Heights for us slowly but surely every year. So we're very grateful for that. And I think that's one of the most important programs that the county has ever come up with. So I'll look forward to working with you to continue that program and maybe even improve it a little bit.
I hear you and I agree. And I tried to add an amendment to the budget hearings to continue that. So I agree. And we'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And I also have in my wish list, I'd love to see a matching Parks and Recreation Fund out of the county millage. So if I can, where we could, that same model, have matching Parks and Recreation funding out of the county millage.
Okay, yes, we like that.
It's more money to you. So we have lots of interesting ideas.
I haven't heard that from the county ever, so that's cool.
It's been a long time.
So, any questions for me?
Congratulations, and thank you for representing us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for coming today.
Any other civic announcements from the public? Hearing none from the public, we open City Council. Oh, I'm sorry, civic announcements. City Council? Did you have civic announcements or public? Okay. Any council people have any public civic announcements they'd like to? Now we'll open up public discussion. Public discussion from the audience?
Good evening, my name is Anja Varit. I live at 41 West Milton Avenue. And the topic I would like to bring up is a company which is located at 21015 John R. Road. The name is Motis Transportation. And they recently put up security lights at their facility in the parking lot, directly in the middle, in the center. And those are extremely bright lights. And I have shades in my kitchen. They even shine through the shades. And so I'm requesting that this light pollution be corrected and asking also for a date by when this can be done. So that's all I have.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll speak with them about screening that.
Any other public comments from the audience? Closing public discussion. Council consent agenda. Approval of the consent agenda.
I'll move approval of the items 1 through 8 of the consent agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Any discussion? Any dissension? Closes the consent agenda. Administrative reports, contract with planning consultant McKenna and Associates. Mr. Klobuchar.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you should have received via email a revised program, and I think that we've got something for you on your, may have on the table, may not, but you should have received it via email. It is a revised proposal bringing our costs to assist us with the master plan down from $120,000 to $70,000. Obviously, we would have preferred to do this in-house, but I simply do not have the staff at this time. As you can see, due to family illnesses and retirements, And other situations, I've got Jeff Campbell, who is a thankfully licensed attorney, pinch hitting tonight for us as a city attorney. So I wish we had the internal capacity to do it. We have the internal capacity to do a good-sized chunk of it, but I think that it is important that we get the assistance of McKenna. They're very experienced. They've done our last several master plans. They will also assist with the publishing and formatting of the recreation master plan as well. And I would recommend that council approve this agreement.
Okay, I have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Discussion? Hearing none. Dissension? Hearing none. We have the contract with McKenna. Show cause hearings, motion to table. To the next available meeting.
I'd make a motion to table the show cause hearing of 24520 North Chrysler Drive till the next meeting.
Do I have a
Support.
Any discussion?
Again, do you want to wait till the first meeting in February, or do you want to, me to try to schedule
Whenever the
something
attorney,
sooner?
whenever their attorney's available and our attorney's available.
Okay.
I think it's the best avenue to pursue that. That way we have.
Okay,
everybody on.
we'll have Melissa get some dates with,
That way there's nobody can say that we didn't try to work with anybody.
no, that's for sure.
Your Honor, through the chair, it's, I think Councilmember LaCuro put it well, it's been 20 years, a little bit extra time. I know that we've got a pretty busy January with meetings and schedules. So February would be my preference if possible.
Come
We'll
back
see,
with a couple
I'll
of
see
dates.
what the attorneys come up with.
Thank you.
All right. Any dissension? We have a tabled item. Boards and commissions, anyone? New business? You had said you had dates that you want to set up and schedule with
Again,
us?
I need to, let's try to do in 2 weeks. You had mentioned, there'd been some discussion about a goals and objectives study session.
Right.
So we could bring in the department heads, and they could have a chance to talk with you about some of the things that they're doing.
Let's do that, and
They've
anything else you want to,
already had that discussion in staff meeting. They're expecting it. So
anything else you want to bring up at that meeting? That's going to be a long meeting.
we'll see how many departments we get through. But again, they're going to come up there and they're going to, give you the highlights of what they've been doing and listen to you folks for suggestions and priorities for the coming year.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
And throw some dates at us for the other meetings you're wanting to talk about.
I've got to get you throw some dates at me because I need to
I'm
bring
pretty
a
available.
consultant. So
I'm pretty available.
we could look for it. We'll do it maybe on an off Tuesday when we don't have.
Mondays are
the
fine with me too.
Are Mondays okay for everyone?
Mondays are harder for me. I work
Okay.
a little bit later.
Tuesday's good?
Tuesdays and Thursdays are my easiest
I'm
available.
good with that.
Okay, we'll see if we can't do it on a Tuesday or a Thursday then.
Thursday's actually not a bad day.
Thursdays are not.
Except for
bad.
Thursdays are
Except for
better.
you,
I
except
have
for-
something every Tuesday.
And you guys have
Thursday's my only bad day. I can reschedule.
Wednesdays?
Thursday's fine.
Wednesdays look good?
I'll have Jimmy call you all.
See, I knew just going to get into this.
Yes, all
Okay.
of my Wednesdays are open.
Melissa, Wednesdays?
Wednesdays are definitely difficult for me.
Okay.
I'll have Jimmy call you all.
Okay.
We'll have Jimmy serve us some dates, then we can all.
Yep,
I'm just gonna email Jimmy my calendar.
there you go.
Jimmy doesn't want to sit.
We'll figure something out. All right, new business over. Communications from department heads. Any department heads have any communications tonight they'd like to bring up? So we have the police chief, Bucco.
Mr. Mayor, while the police chief's up there, I'm going to go back to new business and show you before someone had, I think it was Beth had mentioned about evaluations, and we are in the process of doing evaluations. So the form there, the draft form for the evaluations are there. Now, the people who evaluate department heads, that's me. So I will be, engaging in this evaluations process. But what we will have for you folks, obviously, is later in the month, a meeting where we can go over your goals and objectives for the city with the various department heads who are responsible for executing those. Okay?
Thank you.
I like that.
Go ahead.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
Getting through the first year of chief was a challenge. A lot of the things I was doing before, I still do. I always look at the police reports. So I know what's going on, and I'm always checking the stats quarterly. I just was doing stats day over the past year, and I'm pretty proud of what the police department has done. We decreased in a lot of areas again. And if you don't mind, I'll share some of those numbers.
Go right ahead.
Robbery has been down 23% over 2017. Forced entry B&Es down 37%. Larceny from buildings down 24%. Larceny from motor vehicle, that hasn't changed much. That was actually one more than the year before. That goes in sprees of people going through cars that are unlocked. So that's why I always preach that, lock your cars if you care about your change, but it's still larceny from motor vehicle, and we don't fudge the stats that way. So, larceny and motor vehicle parts down 33%. Just in the past little bit, well, reminder, if anyone hears anything weird in the middle of the night or something odd, we've had a few catalytic converters in different areas of the town. It's spread out. It's not any particular thing we can pinpoint. Detroit, I know, had a big arrest lately, but there has been a couple since then, so it's more than one person doing it. Motor vehicle theft down 39%. That's a big one. Malicious destruction of property down 30%. Retail fraud down 32%. Even with all those decrease in crime, officers are very proactive, and our OWIs went up 33%. So they're out there, they're looking for stuff, they're trying to keep the road safe, and arrests were up too, even with that decrease in crime. So very happy. I know it's not just the police department doing it, there's other factors too, but I am happy with those results.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Sharing that.
Through the
Mr.
chair,
Mayor,
Chief.
again, very proud of this chief of police, very proud of my police department. The residents of the city should be very proud, and I want to thank you, sir, for your outstanding work, and please pass that on to your officers. It's just, you're doing a great job on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chief, could I ask you to share the information on the next watch meeting? I think it's about an active shooter situation. Is that still on?
I believe that is.
Okay, and the date is the,
That is,
I don't have the flyer yet.
what's the count? It's a Tuesday. Is it next week?
Next week, next
Is it
Tuesday.
next Tuesday? Yeah, next
14th or 15th?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds right.
okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, city attorney?
I am actually an attorney, just for.
Do you have any
No.
Yes, for the record, Community Development Director and Jeff Campbell is a licensed attorney, and he is sworn in as a deputy city attorney.
Do you have any comments, Mr. Campbell?
No, I do not.
Mr. Klobuchar?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just want to, again, tell Councilwoman Alyssa Sullivan how sorry I was for her, and let her know that the city of Hazel Park stands behind her. We all do on behalf of the employees of the city of Hazel Park. Anything that we can do to make things better. And I know you can't make anything better after something like this happens, but we will do what we can to assist you, and I am so very deeply sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Hey, from the city council, Councilman LaCuro.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just real briefly, Happy New Year to everybody, and thanks for coming out. And if you love somebody, tell them, and if you have children, hug them every day and tell them you love them. Have a great night. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Councilwoman Holland?
Happy New Year, everyone. To follow up with what Anya spoke about, the light pollution, I can speak to that you can read by these lights. For Jeff, I'm not sure if this is going to be you or whose department it is. There's no lighting along the alley side and on the Hayes Road side of the building, so they've got a airport landing in the parking lot, but the rest of it's not very secure. Last Sunday, we had the museum open, and it was probably one of our busiest days in 2 years. And it was really cool that the 90-year-old brother of Carl Tom came in and posed in front of the Harmony House sign, and people posed in front of the Hope sculpture, a tribute to Robert Indiana. I was told I always have to mention that and credit the original artist. And also Tom Jones, our own Tom Jones, who has Signs of the Time there. There were people stopping and taking pictures in front of that, too. So it was just a beautiful day and wonderful to see folks out. This past year, quite a few of us, there's changes to the season, and I know that several of us lost very much loved family members, city manager included. And I wish to express my condolences for the devastating loss of life that happened at Councilmember Sullivan's house. That is something I can relate to, and I hope that she recovers and her soul heals. Happy New Year, everyone, and thank you all for coming out.
Councilwoman Sullivan.
I'm sorry. I just want to thank the community, everybody in the room, the department heads, our firefighters, our police department, strangers. It's the most terrible thing I've ever experienced, but the support I've received from people in our community has been overwhelming, and I don't want to say unexpected, but it was reaffirming of the love that I have for this community, and I don't have the right words for the amount of gratitude that I have for everybody that has really even just reached out with kind words. I really want to thank everybody, so thank you. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Mayor Pro Tem Aubrey.
I want to echo Alyssa's sentiments. I was there that night. Our firefighters were absolutely amazing with the work that they did. I was not expecting to have to see them in action twice so quickly, as there was an arson on my street, and then the loss that Councilmember Sullivan experienced. But our firefighters are just the best. They're wonderful. Our police officers show up on scene. They're fantastic as well. So I just can't echo enough how grateful I am to have that asset in our community. Sorry, that was a rough night. But city business-wise, I'm grateful. I've been here for a year. It's been great to really see what the community from this side of the table has been like the last year that I've been here. I'm excited to come sit up here every month, do the work that benefits people in this community, keep things moving. So I'm very grateful for that. So Happy New Year to everybody. And that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. My condolences for Ms. Sullivan's losses, and hopefully everything works out for the better for the future. I thank everybody for coming out, and thank the department heads for reaching out and doing a good job that they've done. Mr. Klobuchar, thank you again for making the resources available and doing the hard work that needs to be done. Hopefully we can have a more productive year this year.
We'll do the best that we can. I've got the best staff in the state, and we have the best residents in the state. We had a good year last year. We had, other than the personal tragedies that have been mentioned, citywide, we had a great year last year. Our property values are up. We've got a lot of interest in development, and again, the crime statistics are down. Our firefighters had a record-breaking year in terms of the amount of service that they provide in this community, and that's a trend of things to come because we are an aging community and an aging society, but we're prepared to meet the challenges. And like I said, I've got great employees. It's my pleasure to serve as city manager, and I serve the best residents in the state of Michigan because the real heroes here are always our residents who came forward and they passed those millages during those dark days to keep those doors open. And because they did that, we're doing well now. And again, I can't thank the people, the wonderful people of Hazel Park enough. I really, sincerely mean that. And when Alyssa says that, I know exactly what she means. Because there are so many, some people are not nice, but there are so many more nice, good, wonderful people in this town, then there are bad ones that I'm proud.
It goes back, let's just go back to the, we've had tragedies in this town over the years. The bridge thing, we've had different events, different people that have lost things, people that we've all lost loved ones. And I think in this town, we all come together when in time of need and help each other, no matter what circumstances, or whether or not you may dislike someone or not, we still all come together. And that's what it's about.
That is the way it should be, sir.
That's the way it should be. And I do want to say thank you for coming out this evening, and I apologize for the last meeting. Our camera system was not working properly, and hopefully this camera system is working today, and hope everybody enjoyed the meeting. I have a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Dissension? We are adjourned.